And then for almost a decade, I helped get independent Democrats, Republicans, third parties, independents on the ballot in Chicago, Illinois. And then in 2008, Ralph Nader hired me to be his ballot access coordinator for an independent in 2008, that is. So I spearheaded, I'm a coalition builder, organizer, and helped collect to date. I've collected millions of signatures to get candidates on the ballot and got Nader on the ballot in 45 states plus DC. If we had money for all 50, I'm confident we could have done it, but it's very costly. And that was the creation of free and equal elections when Ralph put on this Open the Debates rally, and I learned about the Commission on Presidential Debates, and he told me how the CPD, Commission on Presidential Debates, has stolen it from the League of Women Voters in the early 70s.
Yeah.
It has perpetuated a fraud on the American voters. The League of Women Voters has said that, and they're right about the CPD. And so that sparked the first nationally televised debate in 2008 outside of the mainstream Commission on Presidential Debates. And that was the creation of free and equal elections.
Excellent. As a member of the League of Women Voters, I can say that I often do mention the fact that I would probably watch debates again if they were hosted by the League of Women Voters, because now they're just political theater. Now it's just silliness.
Well, I definitely am interested in having the head of the League of Women Voters be a moderator for our debate series. I can go into more detail. We're kicking off a presidential debate series. Our first one will be this winter, looking like the end of February at XR Studios. We're looking at February 29th, really close to finalizing in contract with Jimmy Dore and I co-moderating free and equals presidential debates. So we'll have at least 3 debates in 2024, presidential debates. Free and equal will have at least 3 presidential debates in 2024. And definitely have had my eye on the League of Women Voters to be a part of that and to moderate free and equals debate.
Yeah, they're great. I mean, I'm a member in this for the state, for our state Florida League and our local Broward League, but I've gone to their like state meetings. Those women know how to get shit done. They are by the book. They are efficient. Like that's where I learned what a parliamentarian is actually really supposed to do. Like those ladies take their job very seriously.
They do. I've worked with them in many of a handful of states, Colorado. They've attended and spoken at our symposiums for electoral reform. Arizona, the president, Barbara Klein, I think, I'm trying to remember her last name, was the president of the League of Women Voters. 2010, she moderated a free and equal panel against the top 2 primaries. So I've had some great experience with the league.
You know, Christina, we're looking at what's been happening over the past several years. And again, a lot of people are just sort of waking up to this reality now, but I was personally very vested in Bernie's presidential run back in 2015, 2016. And even at that time, I knew that there was something really wrong with what was going on in terms of the structure, what was happening with local DECs and how they were not permitting, not just the question of how many debates they were having, the times that they were putting it on, the questions, the way it was framed towards Hillary versus Bernie. There are all of these, you know, what you would call barriers that are put in place. So when people are waking up now to the reality, particularly of what RFK was going through when he was running in the Democratic primary, attempting to have debates, was showing poll numbers that were well above 15%. And yet they insisted that we're not doing any debates, we're not having this, that, or the other thing. They can use the excuse that we have a sitting incumbent president, despite being as unpopular as any incumbent has been since Jimmy Carter. We are at a situation now where it seems like the system is ready to blow itself up, that people are not just going to take this old structure anymore. And let's face it, the type of debates that are put on by corporate media are not debates. They're just soundbite platforms. They're not really there to have a dialogue about what is the inherent value of why you should be on a stage and talking about your platform. So for free and equal elections, as it stands right now, you mentioned that you're going to have a couple of debates next year. On a side note, do you see there being any way that one of those potential third-party candidates gets on the corporate media debate stage, even if they're exceeding what is considered to be the bare minimum in order to do so?
Highly unlikely. I mean, we want to say, no, it's not possible. But I mean, Donald Trump got elected for president, so anything can happen. I mean, an outsider, and at one time he was considering running as an independent for president. I would know because he inquired me and my team about that. It's not common knowledge. So I think that we saw what happened to Ross Perot. He got into the debate. I think it was at 92, right?
Yeah.
And then they haven't let anybody else in since. Tulsi Gabbard, she was having momentum last election, then they kept her out of the debate. It'll be interesting to see if Vivek gets in the next RNC debate after what he said. But in any case, yeah, I think it's highly unlikely that a third-party candidate would be invited. In fact, I don't even see Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who left the Democratic Party as an independent now, being included in any of these debates. So I'm an optimist. So that's why I've created also I have a reality check as well. And history proves itself. These big debates, the Commission on Presidential Debates, corporate funded, strings, it's like who's running the debate, the moderators or the candidates? I'm not really sure. And people want to hear the hard hitting questions. And a moderator like Jimmy Dore, I was on with Jimmy last week on Russell Brand, and we put a call out for Joe Rogan, to come out and help to join us as a third moderator. We have a couple others in mind as well. Yeah. So what sets our debate apart from the others is that the people are going to vote in the top 6 candidates for our debate. At the end of February, we're locking in at XR Studios in Los Angeles. There's over 150, there might be even 200 candidates running for president now, according to Ballotpedia. And so it's going to be the people voting. I have a little fly here. The one
I saw that.
Oh, there he is. And so the people will vote in the top 6 candidates, and we'll do it through our blockchain voting app powered by Nexus.io. And it'll be through ranked choice voting. So it could be a libertarian, a green, an independent, a couple Ds, Democrats, Republicans. Let the people decide. So I'm really excited. I think that's truly free and equal. I see all the candidates beyond the party lines. I see them as individuals, and candidates are beholden to big money like Biden. Probably not going to be at our debate, but if he's voted in, I hope he'll show up still. And if he doesn't, then the 7th candidate will be let in to the top 6 live round.
Right. Right.
Personally, I think that he should be voted in, and that he would have to say, no, I'm not doing this, even though if you did have, as Vivek, had indicated in the last debate, we should have Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, and Russell Brand being the moderators for a debate. Because the fact is, if they were moderators for the debate, you'd get 10, 20 million people to tune in easily. Whereas you have these, they're not even debates now, where they can't get any ratings. More people are paying attention to Trump doing a rally, as he did down here in Hialeah, versus the actual GOP debate that took place in Miami. To me, that's reflective of we are in this sort of dramatic shift right now. And yes, it did take these electoral fallacies that, in particular, the Democratic Party was putting forward with the super delegates and the debates and all that, to now people just will not trust that process anymore. And so what you're saying is you're going to host these debates. You've already coordinated with Jimmy and a few other people, which is obviously great because it will draw attention. But the idea here is to get RFK, Dr. Cornel West, Dr. Jill Stein, potentially who the Libertarian Party candidate will be, and then potentially inviting Donald Trump and Joe Biden and having a real debate. And then, of course, them saying, well, we're not going to participate in this. And all the while, just giving more and more momentum to these outside the two-party duopoly system candidates, the opportunity to build up the outside political infrastructure even more.
Yeah, you're spot on. What's happening here is bigger than a presidential debate. It's an independent movement. We're going to show people and voters how their vote actually can be trusted and counted on a blockchain ledger. And the coder and developer of our blockchain app powered by Nexus.io is Colin Cantrell. His father, Jim Cantrell, was the person who founded SpaceX with Elon Musk. So I am very hopeful that Twitter will broadcast this debate. Rumble has already confirmed to broadcast this debate. Pacifica Radio said once we have the venue and the date locked in, they'll broadcast it as well. And it's going to continue to rise. So Vivek's put the call out there for a debate. Here it is, free and equal elections with Jimmy Dore, and definitely welcome. I'm not sure if Elon, he's been doing, he did kind of a debate online. It just, I like the comedy and Joe Rogan, the feel, kind of a little bit of a hippie feel, I think, jokingly Jimmy calls himself, but they're journalists. They ask the hard-hitting questions. They're used to being in front of the camera, and we're going to have the people vote in the top 2 or the 2. We'll have by the way, the format we've been using since 15 years ago, is the cumulative format, which is the same format that the League of Women Voters used in creating the debates. It's perfect. 2-minute opening, 2-minute closing, about 5 questions with 6 live candidates, a 2-hour debate. And they have 2 minutes to answer each question, and then a rebuttal expansion, a certain amount for each candidate to engage that back and forth conversation. So they're not speaking over one another or the moderator. It's a cordial, compassionate. You may have completely different viewpoints, but let's recognize that we can agree on a lot more than not. And so we really engage. So the people will vote the topics of 2 questions, that is, that they want for the debate, and we'll leave the other 3 up to the moderators.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.